a parent travel with a child without the other parent's consent? Thinking of taking your child overseas after a divorce? You might need more than just a passport. In Singapore, if there's no custody order, either parent is legally free to travel with the child. But if there's a custody or care and control order, you cannot remove your child from the country without written consent from your ex or a court order. Even if you have sole custody, your court order may restrict travel or state that your child must remain in Singapore. While ICA does not require permission, some other countries do. So if you don't have the proper documents, you could be stopped at immigration or even denied entry into another country. If there is a court order restricting travel, ICA should be informed to prevent unauthorized relocation. It's always best to check your legal requirements in advance to avoid complications. A simple oversight could lead to major legal trouble. Can taking your child overseas after a divorce be a crime? Yes, it's possible, and here's why. In Singapore, if you remove your child from the country without your ex's consent or a court order, it's considered child abduction, even if you are the custodial parent. Under the Women's Charter, this is a serious offence, and penalties can include a fine of up to $5,000 or imprisonment of up to 12 months, or both. But there is one exception. If the trip is less than 1 month, you don't actually need permission. But if you plan to stay longer, written consent or a court order is mandatory. Taking your child abroad without permission can also hurt your custody case. The court may see you as uncooperative or a flight risk, which could impact future legal decisions about your child. If you're planning to travel, make sure you follow the law, or you could face serious legal consequences. Thinking about moving overseas with your child after a divorce? You might not have the final say. Relocating a child permanently is not just a personal decision, it's a legal one. You cannot just move your child out of Singapore unless your ex agrees in writing or the court grants permission if your ex objects. Even if you have sole custody and care and control, your court order may require that your child remains in Singapore. If you relocate without permission, you could be charged with child abduction, lose custody rights, or even face serious legal consequences. If you're considering relocation, don't assume that you can just leave. You must prove to the court that the move is in your child's best interests. Can the court stop you from relocating with your child after a divorce? Absolutely. Singapore's courts do not automatically grant relocation requests, even if you have sole custody. Their top priority is always the child's welfare, not the parent's personal reasons for moving. Before 2014, the courts were more lenient, often allowing relocation if the parent had a good reason. But today, the standard is much higher. The court will assess a number of things. Will the move truly benefit the child or just the parent? Will it disrupt the child's stability, schooling, and friendships? Will it damage the child's relationship with the other parent? Even if you have custody and care and control, you must still prove that the relocation is in your child's best interests, or the court may deny your request. Thinking of relocating your child after a divorce? The court looks at more than just your reasons. Singapore's courts consider multiple factors before deciding on relocation. These include a number of things, such as why you want to move. Is this truly necessary or just for convenience? The impact on the parent who's left behind. Will it harm their bond with the child? The child's age and maturity. Can they actually adapt to a new environment? The child's wishes. If they are old enough, the court may take this into account. The immigration status of the child. Can they legally stay in the new country? The parent's support system abroad. Is there actually any family support, stable income, and the source of a good education? Long-term benefits. Will the move improve the child's future opportunities? The court's focus is not on what benefits the parent, but on what is truly best for the child. If relocation would harm the child's stability, the court is likely to reject the request. Even if you have sole custody, the court may stop you from relocating with your child. Here's why. Singapore's courts have approved relocation in cases typically where the parent was returning to their home country with strong family support, the move provided a clear financial and living advantage for the child, but relocation has been denied in cases where the left-behind parent had a strong bond with the child, the moving parent lacked stability in the new country, the child was well settled in Singapore and moving abroad would cause disruption. Even having sole custody and care and control does not automatically guarantee relocation approval. The courts prioritize the child's welfare over a parent's personal preferences. If your ex takes your child overseas without your consent after a divorce, what can you do? This is where the Hague Abduction Convention comes in. Singapore is a part of this international treaty designed to prevent international parental abduction. It ensures that children who are wrongfully taken or kept overseas are returned to their home country. But here's the catch. It only works if both countries are involved as signatories. Countries such as the UK, the US, Australia and Japan follow the treaty. But if your child is taken to a country such as China, Indonesia, the UAE, the Hague Convention won't apply and you'll need other legal options. The Convention does not decide on custody. It only ensures that disputes are settled in the child's habitual residence. If your child has been taken overseas without permission, legal action must be taken quickly to bring them back. If your child has been taken overseas without your consent after divorce, what can you actually do? In Singapore, there are two ways to apply under the Hague Abduction Convention. Number 1, apply to the Singapore Central Authority, which works with international agencies to recover the child. Number 2, file a return order in the Singapore Family Courts, which can legally enforce the child's return. But the Hague Convention only applies if your child is under 16, they were habitually living in Singapore before the removal, or if the country they were taken to is also a Hague signatory. If the courts find the removal wrongful, they can order the child's immediate return. But if there is a risk of harm to the child, the court may refuse. If your child has been taken abroad without consent, act fast. Delays can complicate legal action.